Okay, the first item on the agenda this evening is the approval of the agenda with any additions, deletions, or changes.
I so move.
Well,
Just a second. We got one item to add. If you notice, I sent out an additional agenda item.
yes.
That's a resolution 2023-19. It's for the extension of the hurricane Idalia. We need to add that to the agenda and put it at the very last of the list.
Okay, we have an addition there. And if hearing no other, then we need a motion.
Needs a motion.
I'll amend my motion,
Okay.
and I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda with the addition to it.
Okay, we have another addition, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
So rescind that, please. I'm sorry.
I rescind my motion.
Okay.
Sorry, we need to pull item J from the agenda for tonight.
Ordinance 1500?
Yeah, for further discussion at a later time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is there any other additions or deletions? Okay, hearing none, taking motions now.
So now we're adding resolution 2023-19, and we're deleting J.
Yes.
Okay, I'll motion that we do an addition of adding resolution 2023-19 and delete item J on our agenda.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
And we have a second. Any further comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, second item on the agenda is the tentative budget hearing here. Item A. This is the first reading of ordinance 1496. The millage rate, do we?
Yeah, I'll read it. Do what? Go ahead, that's fine.
By title only, ordinance number 1496, an ordinance fixing and prescribing the millage to be levied by the city of Lake City, Florida for the municipal purpose for fiscal
I
year.
go.
Live oak. I spent all night in Lake City. For the municipal purpose for fiscal year 2023-2024.
Okay, do we need to open
Open the public hearing.
Okay, this is to open the floor to public comment for the first reading of ordinance 1496. Did you get your? Okay, hearing none. Recommendations, I guess, of the staff. So we will look for a motion for the adopting the first reading of the millage rate.
Mr. President, I offer a motion that we adopt the millage rate first reading, ordinance 1496.
Okay, we have a motion, and we have a second. Is there any further discussion for the first reading? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the first reading of ordinance 1496 has passed.
Ordinance number 1497, ordinance adopting the city of Live Oak, Florida operating budget for fiscal year 2023-2024. Open your public hearing on that.
Okay, is there anybody in the public that would like to comment on this, the first reading of this ordinance? Hearing none, we will entertain motions.
I'll offer a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 1497, of the ordinance, adopting the Live Oak operating budget for fiscal year 23-24.
Okay, we have a motion,
Second.
and we have a second. Any discussion pertaining to ordinance 1497? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And ordinance 1497 passes. Any further comment? Motion carries. Okay, item 3 is the the approval of the August 8th regular monthly council meeting minutes and the August 22nd budget workshop meeting minutes.
Mr. President, I offer a motion that we approve the minutes from August the 8th of our regular council meeting and our budget meeting as well, August 22nd.
Okay, we have a motion.
Workshop.
I'm sorry, so we have a motion
Second.
and we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the minutes, workshop minutes approved. Okay, item 4. Okay, the first person is Mr. Gray. Yes, sir. State your name, address, and you have 3 minutes, sir.
Okay, my name is Harry Gray, and the name on the back of my shirt of my father, who was killed in action on his 31st birthday, 1945. Anyhow, I am here on 2 subjects. One is bequeath. 2 months ago, I came to the city manager at that time, George Curtis, and also went to the county manager, Mr. Greg Scott, and I made them an offer. I said, I'm trying to do estate planning. I want to bequeath my portfolio to the city or to the county for the benefit of the people. I wanted it so that they could, something that would be lasting and that they could use, and my portfolio manager says that portfolio is worth $3 million. But I went to these 2 gentlemen 2 months ago, and as today, I have not heard from them. So I can only assume that maybe they got too many grants, but they didn't have the courtesy to call me back. So you can handle that any way you want to, but I've made most of that money here in Suwannee County. I wanted it to go back to Suwannee County and the city of Live Oak. There's thousands of charities I can give it to, but I wanted it to stay here at home. That's the first subject. The second subject is that I moved into the city 33 years ago and connected to the city utilities, and I've made 396 payments. I've never had a late payment. I retired in the top 4% of the Air Force, and I never had a late payment. Okay, last month I had a late payment, and it's kind of complicated, but the city of Live Oak is not electronically connected to my bank, which is Ameris Bank. So out of my 5 accounts, it takes the city 2 to 3 months to withdraw the money from my bank. The city, according to your financial director, if I had had an account with First Federal, they have an electronic system with them. Anyhow, I was late, and I find it ironic that they want $64.94, and the reason I'm here is not because of that. Is that if they, oh, by the way, I have this last month, here, newspaper.
Mr. Gray, that was your 3 minutes. So how can we just get you to maybe get with Mr. Sessions?
Just say, can I get your phone number, or I'll see you after the meeting?
Okay.
And then we had a change of management there, and then that may have been the problem. I apologize for that. Okay, thank you, sir. Is it David Chandler?
And Joe Carroll?
Joe Carroll, okay.
evening. I'm Joe Carroll, 904 Pine Avenue, southwest here in Live Oak, and David Chandler. We represent the Sons of American Revolution, the Lake City chapter, and we have some awards to give to certain individuals for recognition. I'll put it briefly, very briefly. The mayor and chief of police, I willing to bet you never thought you'd be on national TV with the President of the United States. But as such, I have certificates and medals from the SAR for Mayor Frank Davis.
Mayor, if you don't mind coming down, we'd like to get a picture, Mr. Federico.
Mr. Gill, John Gill, city clerk. These are awards that are not just for y'all, but for all of your departments and everything. There's so many people to recognize, it'd be endless. Larry Sessions, the interim city manager. And I know some of these gentlemen are not going to be here because they're with the county. Chief of Police, Chief Davis. Is Fire Chief Sid Hayes in? He is not. Okay. And Sheriff St. John, I know is not going to be here.
He's here.
Oh, I'm sorry, he is. Sorry.
Snuck
in on us. And Chief Eddie Hand for the Swanee County.
He's here with me.
That's Sheriff St. John. And now, to give I know one story that I caught online is the county fire chief, and along with the city, worked hand in hand on rescuing certain individuals during the storm itself. My one son-in-law that I have that's here, he's an auxiliary sheriff deputy and everything, you know, so I got first-hand experience of seeing what all the deputies all went through. And with all of our gratitude, we owe you all a very deep debt of gratitude. Y'all represented not just the community, but all of us beyond belief. Thank you, sir.
I'm lost my district and I didn't get recognized in there.
Can y'all smile like y'all seen the president? Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Y'all have done a tremendous job. We just want to let you know it doesn't go unnoticed.
I know I'm not on the list, but I would just like to take this opportunity, since all of you guys are here, to commend the city fire department on the cooperation that we had on that call this morning. Sid and I made the call after operations were shut down to have these folks go out and try to make this rescue, because it was very close to town and it was just prior to the winds really coming in. The cooperation between the two departments, along with the National Guard, we made a rescue on this individual and made it to the hospital with him before the storm actually, was bearing down on us. So just be very proud of your department and how the work that we did together was the reason that this outcome was what it was.
We're always really excited when the city and the county can come together.
Mr. David, I just want to thank y'all for doing this and all, because it wasn't just me, it was the whole department. In my emergency management, he done a fabulous job, as you see all around Live Oak, and all the different assets that he called in, and the different places, and that from Dowling Park, McAlpin, O'Brien, Brantford, and Welborn, where we serve people, food and water, and MREs and tarps and all. And it was just a collaborative effort and all, and it all worked out good and all so forth. And
And again, we appreciate, just like to say, we just like to keep us saying the work between the city and the county, and it all worked out good, and hope we got everybody served, took care of it all, and one thing, we'll get back to normal here before long.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. I'll say that it's been absolutely amazing to see not just the community, but the services and everything. It's been very, very impressive. And of course, we can always look at some of the stories and hear those stories, but for the most part, exemplary work from our departments. So, very impressive. Okay, Mr. Mason? Do you want to speak now, or is he going to?
Yes.
From the, okay.
My name is Nathan Smith. I'm Executive Director for Live Oak Housing Authority. All I wanted to do was just hand out a letter to the mayor and council members before the vote.
Okay. Like you deal with cards, aren't you?
Thank you very much. That's all I need.
All right.
I want to read.
Okay, that was it. Okay. The fifth item is Mayor Frank Davis, the matters of the city. Okay.
Mr. President, I'll try to be brief. I honestly, truly, and humbly accept this recognition on behalf of our city workers and team. Chief Davis, JL, Larry, all of these guys, they were there from the get-go. A lot of them got a little bit of sleep. They had a lot of good food around there to eat, but and I feel kind of like when I used to go to the Ken's barbecue when they had the working man's combo. I always felt guilty about ordering it because I didn't feel worthy that I was a working man. But that's how I accept this tonight. I really don't deserve it, but these guys do. And thank you so much for recognizing. I know you did that in recognition of the city workers. They did a tremendous job. The county did. I know the sheriff's left, but they did. We had the state emergency management people here. Talked with them, talked with Zach Bell today. They really, really did an outstanding job. FEMA was here. All the people that are still here, many volunteers that didn't get paid. I just want to say thank you to them publicly. I know they're not here, but I've said it to many of them privately and at the EOC. And when I would say this, we had a young man from Hialeah that came up to volunteer from the fire department. And he said, I was really touched by and thankful to see that you open your meetings with prayer, close your meetings with prayer. I do think that, as the president said, but by the grace of God, it could have been worse on our community. The other thing he said that my wife said, you be sure to say, is that neighbors helping neighbors. But the president said that. And then he mentioned the volunteers. So I just wanted to make that statement and let everyone know how much, speaking on behalf of myself and the city, we appreciate everyone coming to our city. Having said that, we'll move on to 5A and Resolution 2023-17, resolution appointing a tenant commissioner to serve in seat number 4. We had Mr. Lorna Coker, who is here tonight, filling in, serving in that capacity. Her term ends at the end of this month. There were no other candidates. I recommend to the council that Mr. Coker be reappointed to, I think it's seat 4. C4 for a 4-year term.
Yeah, I'll offer a motion that we follow staff's recommendation and reappoint Ms. Coker to her seat number 4 in the Live Oak Housing Authority Board.
Okay, we have a motion
Second.
And we have a second. Is there any discussion?
I did want to say, I did talk to Ms. Coker, I'm sorry, and she is willing to serve again. So, want to make that clear, make that clear.
I have a discussion that's gonna be on A and B, but not necessarily about the appointments. But I'm thinking about in the past, or as now, I was told that this was a statute by the state, that these appointments, that the mayor had that ability to appoint. And then I've always questioned whether, what was the need of the city council to vote on the appointment if that appointment was in the hands of the mayor. And my attorney, I got that there's a Florida statute out that says the mayor can do the appointment to this board. Like I said, I have no problem with that, but if the mayor has the authority and the appointment of that, what need for the city council to vote on these appointments? Somebody please explain that. Please explain that to me. Maybe I'm a little dense or whatever else, but when I look at the resolution, then it puts the hands back into put it back into the hands of the mayor and the city council. So please.
The statute requires for this particular appointment, for the manager or the mayor to make the appointment, and then that appointment has to be approved or disapproved by the council. That's by the same statute. I don't have the slide in front of me, but we've dealt with this, I guess, 2 or 3 times now. So it has to be, essentially, the appointment has to be ratified or declined by the town council. And that's by the...
So that's the part we play into making forwards. That's why we are voting on.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if there's no further comment, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Okay, item B.
Yes. So, okay, this would be for seat 5. At the present time, Mr. Alonzo Fillmore is filling that position. I've spoken with him. He is interested in continuing as a board member. We did have one other application, Ms. Cheryl Pruitt, the